Hello and welcome back to the Alteryx Weekly Challenge. Me, Nick Bignell. This is challenge number 70 and we're looking at trade area drive time radii. So this is actually a drive time special challenge, and personally I don't have the drive time driver. I can't even say it, let alone don't have it installed on my Alteryx version, so we won't be able to do it exactly as I think they want us to in the challenge, because we don't have the 30-minute drive time radius capability. So we're going to use miles and see if we can get a similar type effect. So what we've got over here in the start file is, if we click on the input, so we've got 3 sites with addresses and lat longs, and then in the output we've got square miles area of just 31 square miles, something like that. So that's what we're looking at reducing. We've got lat long. So first thing we need to do is, so if we look in the spatials, we've got various tools. So what we were looking to do is look at the total challenges to find total area that can move our company headquarters to such that it's equidistant from the 3 sites. In order to do so, find an area that is shared by a 30-minute drive time radius starting from each of the satellite offices. So it's within 30 minutes of all 3. So what you've got to do in this spatial process, you see this green bit in the middle here, that's, imagine there was 3 shapes, it's the green bit that we're trying to identify in the middle. But we need to identify the points first, because you need to create these as points. The first thing we need to do as spatial points, and it's automatically picked up that long, and we can then just basically run that in. Now we're looking for a trade area, and there is a trade area tool here. It will pick up the centroid. That's this point that was just created by this centroid here. We put in a value. I'm going to put in 15. We've got radius of miles. Now if I switch to the drive time minutes, this is the one they want us to do, but I don't have the database installed, so or data sets installed, so we'll not worry about that. And therefore, and we definitely want the overlaps, because that's actually what we're trying to work out. So we'll leave that unticked. And what that gives us is spatial objects trade area. So if I bring in a browse for a sec, we can see what that looks like. So we've got these three areas, if you like, from each of these particular tools. Okay, so it's that middle area we're looking for. Now what we want to do is, back into spatial, is to work out, what I think we actually want to do is put them all on one row so we can actually combine these in the same. So let's leave that there for a minute. Now we need a transform to be able to bring these into, and we just need the site 1, 2, and 3. I suppose we can call it the city, and then what we want is this spatial object trade area. We'll just take the first and we'll run that. Okay, so that's given us we've got an error, but that's because I haven't configured this particular tool. But we've got this Bolton, Chelmsford, and Pepperell in there. So what we want to do is work out, if we look at this at Bolton and Chelmsford, and we're looking to create an intersection object, i.e. the bit in between. So let's do that. Okay, so that gives us the first 2, the area of the first 2, and now we want to do the difference between these 2 as well. So if we just bring in another spatial process tool, and this time we want to, instead of Bolton, we want Pepperell, and then instead of Chelmsford we want the spatial object process. This is the one that we created, and again we want to cut that. So we've cut the first 2, and now we're bringing in the third one to see what that total space is. So if let's just bring in, let's actually just move this one, and we'll move that here. Let's just rerun that. What we should get in here is all these different shades. It's this middle shade right in the middle that we're looking for. So let's get rid of all the rest of them. We don't really need them. So if we get rid of Bolton, Chelmsford, we just want this one that's left. Okay, obviously just have Chelmsford, none, not untick that, okay. And now what we want to do is bring in some information on this because we want the trade area. So the spatial info will tell us the size, square miles, the second one down, and that will just give us, if we run that, here, square miles. Now this says 148, and we're looking for somewhere near a 30. Now we're not going to get 30.9 because we've not got the drive time data, but we can play around with this. I'm going to go with 11. Let's see what we get there. So rather than 15 miles radius, we're looking at 11. Now that gives us 19 miles. That's a bit closer. Okay, so we can, let's just tweak that a bit. Very close. Let's do 12. Let's see what we get. And with 12 we get 41. So the other side. So let's halfway between. I think if we go with something like 11.6, 5. Let's try 5. And then that will give us 29. Oh, that's close enough. Okay, so let's just stick this browser on the end. Actually, we can use a select to get rid of the spatial object we don't need. Run that. Okay, and therefore we then have 29.4 compared to their 30 point, but we now have an area. We let it render. Well, we don't have an area on that, but if we put a browse on here and run that on the spatial object, we have an area here. And if I bring in a map, let's just do this. It's just render. Okay, so we've got a map. Go out a bit. Showing near Boston the area within all of these three, that's 30 or 11.5 miles from each of these sites and that's the area within that. Okay, thank you very much for watching. See you again next time.